Hello, everybody. Welcome to UpLevel Living. My name is John Garcia. I'm a certified health coach. And today we are going to learn about the top 7 health hacks to jumpstart your health and wellness. So, why did I put this video together today? Well, two reasons. First is actually to tell you that there are no shortcuts, right, to health and wellness. It's a lifestyle. You know, the diets, the exercise, the pills, the machines, all these other things that we try and do. We usually, welcome to the call, Paulie. I appreciate everyone that does join me. If I can't acknowledge you, that's okay. You're part of this webinar, so please feel free to interact on the questions. But I'm going to kind of be going through it and hopefully getting this done in about 30 minutes. So I just want about 30 minutes of your time. So the first reason I put this together is because a lot of people come to me and you know, they want to know what it takes to get healthy, right? And the first thing I want to tell you is there are no shortcuts. I've been on this health and wellness journey really for the past 5 years. For the past 5 years, I've really taken a serious interest in nutrition and holistic and organic, and I hate pills. I hate, you know, any kind of medication of any kind. So I want to find the way that, you know, the lifestyle works without any of that stuff. So first thing is no shortcuts. But the second thing I want to say is it's not that complicated, guys. It's really not that complicated. The 7 hacks I'm going to give you here, some of them you've definitely heard of before, but I'm going to give you the hacks and then maybe how to easily integrate it into your life. But, you know, I'm amazed how these 7 things keep coming up in everything I'm learning and everybody that I'm coaching. It always comes back to these 7 things. And I just want you to know it's not that complicated. You know, we hear so many different messages. We don't know where to start. You know, sure, it's great to work with a health coach, but not everybody can, and schedules and things like that. So I want you to take this video and digest it, you know, when you can, digest, pun intended, and understand that these 7 things are doable. These 7 things are just part of your lifestyle. And as you create them as habits, and we can get into that further in our challenge when we do our 14-day challenges, you will be amazed. I mean, I live this life without counting calories, without worrying about what I'm eating, created habits that are sustainable, which is key. So those are the 2 things. One, it's not a shortcut, and number 2 is it is absolutely doable. So I'm gonna have a little fun with it today. I have this little board, and I'm sorry, I know there's a glare. But if you go to uplevelliving.com/health hacks, you could download the little cheat sheet at the end of the webinar, and you can have that. I want to welcome again everybody as they get on the call. I want to start though, before I start with what we're going to do is count down from 7 to 1. So hack number 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They don't really necessarily go in that order, but I think 1 is definitely the biggest weight on that one. But before I go there, I'm going to ask this question. If anyone wants to jump in there and answer it, and I know I have some veterans already on the call, so that's great to see everybody. But why do these things, why does, let's say, eating right or exercise, why does it make you healthier? Anybody want to give me an answer? Like, why would, let's say, losing weight make you healthier? Why eating right would make you healthier? Why, you know, why these things that you hear about getting healthy? What is it actually doing? I was like, what? I love this. It's like, why am I getting healthier? How am I getting healthier? It's so important to know the real reason, the real cause, the root cause of your health and wellness. Anybody? We're going to go into it. So there is a little bit of a delay in between when you reply and the live. So if you do reply and I don't acknowledge it, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's because of the delay. But here's what these 7 things are going to make a dramatic positive impact on. Okay, and it's either directly or indirectly affecting one of these 2 things. One, it's reducing inflammation in your body. And 2, it's reducing and helping you manage and control stress. I know you guys know that. Anyone who's been on the challenges before, you know that we go through that every single video, every single class. What you're ultimately doing to get healthy, you're not losing weight to gain energy. You're not losing weight to, to feel better. Those things are going to happen. But the health benefits come from the reduction in inflammation and the ability to manage and control stress. So I know I got to go through these 7, but I want you guys to understand that. That's what we were after. That's the holy grail of health and wellness. I always turn to this study. It's from 2012. So we're in 2019. And in just 2012, this is, not that long ago, a study reveals inflammation as the culprit. So inflammation is your body's line of defense. So it's important to have, obviously, inflammation. But when it's chronic, when it's out of control, inflammation is directly related to most of the major illnesses, including cancers and cardiovascular. And here's the quote: when under stress, cells of the immune system are unable to respond to hormonal control and consequently produce levels of inflammation that promote disease. Because inflammation plays a role in many diseases such as cardiovascular, asthma, autoimmune disorders, the model suggests why stress impacts them as well. So that's what happens with the inflammation. But what's kind of, I jumped over a little bit, is that stress, chronic stress, stops the body's ability to control the inflammation. There's a direct link. And I read just recently, that 90% of, illnesses, the core. So you go to a doctor and you have high blood pressure, he gives you a pill, it lowers your blood pressure, but he's not curing the cause. He's not dealing with the stress and he's not dealing with the inflammation. So as a health coach, that's my goal. My goal is for you to understand that you're managing and controlling stress in every single step you do. So the catch-22 is you don't want to stress yourself out about it. You don't want to be stressed that I'm stressed. You just got to be aware of it. You got to be aware of it, and then doing these 7 things that I'm about to give you in everyday life, consistently making it a habit, you're going to make dramatic. You're going to move the needle tremendously. A lot more than diet and exercise, which are maybe in here somewhere. So I'm gonna have a little fun with it. And start with number 7. And while I'm saying that, if anyone wants to take a guess what the number 7 hack is, go ahead by all means. There's some brownie points, some bonus points in there for you. Oops. And I should have probably known that since my handwriting is the worst. This may not be a good idea. But number 7, honor hunger and fullness. Honor hunger and fullness. So it sounds like common sense, right? It basically means eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full. But there's one step further here that we're talking about. Imagine hunger being a scale of 1 to 10, and 10 being starving, right? Famished, you can think of nothing else but eating, and 1 being you're not hungry. At what point in that scale should you actually go and eat? And that's kind of this mental picture, this mental exercise you're going to do with yourself. And my answer to you is at a 2. So that first initial hunger pang, that first initial little grumble, at that point, this is what should happen. You should know what your next meal is, when you're going to eat it, or where, and then sticking to that, so that within the next 15, 20 minutes, you're eating. So what happens to most of us is we have that plan, but at 12 o'clock, we're busy at work, and then something else happens, and it's 1 o'clock, and it's 1:30, and then you're freaking, now it's 2 o'clock, and you're ready to bite anybody's head off. And guess what? There's an acronym called HALT, H-A-L-T. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. HALT. When you're in any one of those 4 stages, you're probably going to make a bad decision, right? If you're real hungry, or real angry, or real lonely, or real tired, you don't want to deal with much. Your body, you just got to kind of, just get that done, right? Whatever it is, whatever part you're in. So when you're hungry and super hungry and you're at 10, you're going to stop at that drive-through at the first, junk food, fast food restaurant. You're going to eat whatever's in front of you. You're going to, and you're going to sabotage probably your health and wellness plan. If you start the whole eating process at number 2 on the hunger scale, by number 4 you've eaten, you're going to see dramatically that you're going to make much better choices. The fullness part is similar, honor hunger and fullness. Fullness is part 2. What fullness requires is very difficult for me and probably difficult for most people, and it's so simple, but it's difficult. It's simple, but it's difficult, and that's to slow down eating. You know, on average, Americans chew their food a total of how many times before they swallow it? 3 times. One, two, three, and you're swallowing food. Because first of all, probably you waited to be too hungry to eat. So you were starving. So that first couple of bites, you would just want to get it down, right? So you're too hungry, you eat. So now you're eating fast. So it's the double whammy of no good. So you want to now honor fullness, meaning don't eat so fast that you don't even realize full. You go past full, you pass the red light. Now when you stop, you're stuffed, right? How many times are you like, oh, I ate too much, I'm stuffed? Well, it's because you ate too fast. And there is a signal from your stomach to your brain as far as how full you are, and it's a slow developing signal. They say it could take up to 20 minutes. So if you're eating so fast, in 5 minutes you're done, you definitely didn't wait for that message, and you're probably stuffed. So the deal is to wait or to stop eating when you're at 8 on fullness, and the only way you're going to do that is if you slow down. So that's honoring hunger and fullness. That's number 7. It's a simple thing, but it can be difficult. I think I'm okay with honoring the hunger part. I eat a lot, but the fullness part is my problem. I go right to it. So now number 6, and number 6, I always forget number 6. I'm not. Hold on a second. I know I got it here somewhere in my notes, but I'm not sure. I'm being a jerk. It's water, right? Water is your flushing out the toxins, keeping everything, flowing literally in your body. The benefits of water are really too much to say. 70% of our body is water, and you hear it all the time. But how many would raise a hand, give me a thumbs up, bing, 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 if you're doing at least 8 cups of water a day? Anybody out there on the call? So 8 cups of water is kind of the minimum requirement that everyone should be doing, yet very little people do. And that's what these hacks are about. So I'm going to write it here. Again, when you go to uplevelliving.com/health hacks, you'll get the keynotes out. But actually, the recommendation is, all right, I see a couple hands up and a couple not so good. Yeah, so what is it about water? You don't like the taste of it? Some people say that they can't. There's something about the texture, the taste of water. They need the flavor. It is a habit, so you can absolutely. I do a gallon. That's awesome, Meg. The way you know if you're actually drinking too much water is how often you're going to the bathroom. If you're in the 2 and 3 hour zone, that's good. If you're in the 1 hour zone, then one of two things. You could have an issue with that, with an organ not holding that the way it should, but it could be you're just having too much water. So certain times of days, actually, let me say this real quick. Water before a meal is not a great thing, which amazed me. I used to think, oh, you drink water, you get a little full, but actually it's not good for the acid and the digestion in the stomach. So don't drink a glass of water within 20 minutes of your meal. That may be news to you. It was news to me, and I had suffered from heartburn and indigestion a long time. And I would drink the water. With the meal, it's okay, but before the meal, you're kind of flooding the stomach, obviously, and so the acid and the bile don't get to do what they're supposed to do on the same level. So a little note to self there. That's the only time that water, you want to delay it a little bit. But if you weigh 150 pounds, it's actually half your body weight in ounces. That's it. You don't have to do over that if you can, but there is a point of diminishing returns where you just don't, your body's just not going to keep that water anyway. So if you're not made it a habit, I could teach you how to make it a habit in my UpLevel Living coaching class. In my 14-day challenge, I teach you guys how to make habits. I know our people on the call know the habit tracker. But making water habits is a thing. And one thing real quick I want to say, and it's on the notes on when you download it, you can flavor water with fruit. I put lemon, I put mint, I put ginger, and I put cucumbers. That mix is awesome for digestion. It's awesome for energy, and it's also good for weight loss. Lemon water is always good for weight loss. Ginger gives you energy. The mint is definitely good for your digestion. The cucumber is very hydrating and on top of the water. So you could flavor your food, your water up, just infuse it overnight in a pitcher. The next day, you can put strawberries, you can put watermelons, you can put blue, whatever you want. And that's natural flavor. You're not adding any additives or chemicals into it. So that is hack number 6. Hack number 5 is, they're all important, and this one could have been 1, but I have it here as number 5. Good old sleep. Thumbs up if you're getting at least 7 hours of sleep per night. At least 7 hours. The recommendation is 7 to 9. I think any adult that gets 9 hours is probably living in a cave somewhere without Hakuna Matata, right? No worries. So thumbs up if you're getting 7 hours. Now, here's the thing about sleep. Sleep is literally the third pillar, the third leg of health and wellness. You have diet, you have exercise, and you have sleep. I see your thumbs up. So not too many people, right? I mean, we have a few people on the call. Not too many people are getting this sleep, and we don't put the amount of importance on sleep as we should. Sleep is becoming like the sleep revolution. There are so many studies right now on sleep. There's so many things that are coming out about sleep and how important it is. Like that professional teams, sport teams are having nap times. And you see it at places like Google, and they have these nap pods because of the productivity that's generated when someone has the proper amount of sleep. But not having sleep doesn't mean just that you're going to be tired and irritable, and maybe just not have your energy the next day. When you're sleeping, your body is in maintenance mode. It's actually regenerating cells and repairing cells. So imagine, I-95 down here is horrible. I'm pretty sure in Jersey it's still horrible. Wherever you are, that major highway is horrible. Typically at night when there's no cars on the road, they close the road and they repair it. If they didn't repair it, the potholes would be all over the place. The cars would be, bouncing around. And as it is, it still happens. Think about your body the same way. You need time to repair and recover. And that's what's happening when you're sleeping. You're not getting rest. That's what you know because of the physical. But inside and what's going on in your body is you're getting, that's why your body, if you stop smoking in 3 months, you can restore so much of the cells that were damaged because your body's constantly regenerating, but it's regenerating positively to the extent that it should when you're sleeping. So 7 hours of sleep is that magic number. In the notes, in the health hacks, I have, something about a pre-bed routine. So if you want to be, let's say you get up at 6, you want to be asleep by 11. That's 7 hours. So, it's not that early, 11 o'clock, and get up at 6. That's what I do. Excuse me. So by 10, I have a pre-bed routine. I know I sound like such a nerd, but if possible, that's where you want to be. I literally have an alert on my phone that says, "Hey, it's 10 o'clock. It's bedtime." I can't believe I'm saying this, but the difference is amazing. So if I'm watching TV or have any light, just today I just saw an alert on a news thing about the blue light and what it does to our rhythm. Right, our body rhythm is thrown completely off when you're getting that blue light after 10 o'clock. We used to, go rise and fall with the sun. The sunlight was it. Now we have ambient light and light everywhere, and the phones, and we're on them, and we don't, you feel tired, but you're actually still messing up that rhythm, that natural rhythm of your body. So I use these the nerdiest things you could ever do, I'm sure, is put on these blue blocker glasses, these yellow kind of glasses, but they block the blue light, and it starts to induce that restful state. The melatonin, which is what you need to fall asleep, starts to naturally produce in your body. So having a pre-bed routine, making the room as dark as possible, as cold as possible. Maybe you put on some essential oil, maybe you drink chamomile tea, you take a hot bath, hot shower. There is a process. We don't just turn off. One thing about like thoughts, if you have that racing thoughts in your head that people have, a good practice is to have a journal next to you and just kind of write down the things that are going to happen tomorrow or this week that you're going to get to. Close it, pray about it if you need to pray about it, and put it away, and that's it. It's done. Because you know what? You can't do anything else about it. You're going to be up all night worried. You're not going to solve one thing by that. Put it down, write it down. It helps you to kind of put it away. Okay, it's done. I'll look at it tomorrow morning. And I know, listen, we all have, the thing of managing and controlling stress, it doesn't say eliminate stress. We're only going to eliminate stress when we're eternally resting, right? I mean, we're only going to eliminate stress when we're eternally resting. We live in this world, we live in this earth. It's difficult just to, just today, I stopped watching the news. I watch the news a lot, and it's just been so terrible. Like I needed a break, and you feel it. You listen to your body, be intuitive. You feel like a little edgy. And I just put away the news. I'm just gonna stay away for a little bit. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna meditate. I'm gonna pray. But have that pre-bed routine. If you have some ideas and comments, please let me know about it. You'll get it in the download in the health hacks. I have some other good tips for you guys. So that is number 5. Get more sleep. Number 4 is one that everybody knows and not everybody loves. And again, I think it's a part of thinking it's more complicated than it really is. Exercise. I don't know what else to tell you guys, but if you want to get healthy and have wellness in your lives, and I know I have some people on the call and we have some personal conversations where you're limited in physical ability. If you don't work up a sweat at least 20 minutes, you're not going to reach the point of the restoration of the health, of the benefits. The motion is lotion. It makes everything in your body better. It's actually the only good stress you could put on your body because of the benefits that the exercise has on reducing stress. I mean, when you run and when you sweat, the ultimate benefit is, again, the reduction of stress on your body. So here's the thing. You don't have to join a gym at all. In the health hack, I have a little exercise routine. I call it the 10-10-10. 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 10 squats. In 1 minute, 10 push-ups, roll over, 10 sit-ups, get up, 10 squats. Do it in 1 minute and do it for 20 minutes consecutively. Trust me, the first, I don't know how many times, I couldn't do it. But that's good. That's your goal. Now, it's absolutely doable for me. It's a tremendous exercise. It's your full body. It's your legs. It's your arms. It's your core. It's the big muscles that after you're done, you're burning calories for a long time, even up to 36 hours after you're done. No equipment, no gym, no membership, and pretty much no excuses, because 20 minutes, guys, you have 20 minutes. You absolutely have 20 minutes. And health hack number 1 will explain to you how to get those 20 minutes if you think you don't have them. So I didn't ask, but I'll ask it anyway. Give me a thumbs up if you're exercising at least those 20 minutes, and another thumbs up if you're doing it 3 or 4 times a week. So we talk about, and I'm not going to digress here, but in my coaching, I talk about 80-20 lifestyle. So in a 7-day week, 80% of the time is about 5 days. If you exercise 5 days, you know what's going to happen? What's happened to me? I love to eat. I love to eat. And when you exercise, you increase the amount of calories you can have in a day without gaining weight. Hello. It's the best thing ever. So if that's your motivation, if that's your inspiration to exercise, it was mine. I eat without thinking about what I'm eating. I don't have to count calories. And trust me when I tell you, I know I'm slim now, but I lost 35 pounds, and I've been the same weight now for over a year, and exercise is a big part of it. And if you just do those 20 minutes, I guarantee you, put me down for this, I guarantee you, you're going to get the same results. So if you're limited physically, we can talk after this, or you can email me, or whatever, just get in touch with me, because there's plenty of other exercises you can do that aren't those, that will get your heart rate up, that will get those benefits that you're looking for with exercise. So that's number 4. Number 3, this one is one that was very new to me when I started my health and wellness lifestyle. And number 3, if anyone wants to guess, I'll give you a second, but it has to do with not physical. It has to do with the other side of the health and wellness. And number 3 on my list of hacks is to meditate. So, I'm not that kind of guy, that was, and that kind of stuff. And listen, I'm not making fun of it, because now I know the truth. But you know, a lot of people like that haven't been brought up with it, that don't have a good friend that's into it. You know, we kind of have this judgment of it. You know, and for me, it was definitely the case. It was like, first of all, I can't sit still. Period. So how am I going to sit still and breathe and do this thing without freaking out? So what's supposed to help me calm down is going to make me totally wired up. So I found the type of meditation that works for me, and it's called Qigong, Qigong, and it's a Chinese, I don't know, kind of form of martial art. But I just do the basic version of it, and in the health hack, I have a link to it. So when you download it, you'll see it. So I do a basic version of it, and what it basically is, it stretches, it's breathing, and it's movement. And I absolutely, to this morning I did it. It was a totally different day for me than most days. But now what's also awesome about it is, since I've learned the breathing technique, I could be in the car and I could practice the breathing technique that I've learned from Qigong. I could be at work. I could be anywhere. And one of the things I teach you in the challenge is, you can kind of reset yourself immediately just by these breathing exercises. So if you're a little bit wound up and you're about to eat, you don't want to eat in that state, right? You don't want to be feeling stressed and eat. So these breathing exercises are not just when you're meditating per se. You can use them at any time. But folks, let me tell you this. Since managing and controlling stress is our ultimate goal, and reducing inflammation is one of the best benefits of it, meditation is a direct impact on so there's physical stress, and then there's like emotional stress, right? The non-physical stress. Meditation is one of the best things you can do to manage and control that stress. So, and that includes, for me, it includes prayer, it includes reading, it includes yoga, it includes, qigong, it includes standard meditation. I have an app, I think it's called Calm. So it's also in the notes, but Calm is a great app. It gets a lot of good reviews. Sometimes I'll go to bed and I listen to there's an app with nature sounds, and I'll put the rain or something like that. Although right now in Florida, we don't need an app for that. It rains. It's really like crazy every single day. But the point is, I think you guys got it already. That's so important. This one, it's number 3. It could be number 1. Give it a chance. If you're not doing it, I have some meditations that I could send you. Again, Calm is a great resource. There's tons of them out there. And another part of meditation is affirmation. I'm Christian. If you have, you have to have faith. You can't do this journey without your faith. Praying while you're meditating is an awesome thing. And you pray about the blessings. I teach that, you don't pray about all the things that are going wrong. You pray about, being grateful and focusing on the possibilities. So it changes everything. And when it's integrated with meditation, it's tremendous medicine for your entire body, but definitely for managing and controlling stress. It's one of those direct ones. Number 2, as we're running out of time here, got a couple minutes left. Number 2 is that ugly 4-letter word, freaking diet. Right? So diet just simply means the majority of food that you're putting in your mouth is your diet. If you eat most of the time salads and chicken and whatever, that's your diet. If you eat most of the time burgers and pizza and hot dogs, that's your diet. So diet doesn't mean that you're dieting, right? The diet is just the food that you put in your mouth. But the one big thing about diet that makes this tremendous needle move in your health and wellness is managing and controlling the blood sugar. Blood sugar is a huge trigger for inflammation. Sugar is everywhere, and everybody on this call and everybody I've ever dealt with, except maybe one person, doesn't have a challenge with sweets. It's not your fault if in the supermarket there's roughly 80,000 products, 80 to 100,000 products, and about 80% of them are spiked with sugar. There's some cans of soda that have 73 grams of sugar. It should be illegal, or it should have a warning label, just like a cigarette does, because it's that toxic for your health. You should have, on average, no more than 30 to 50 grams of sugar. 30 if you're a smaller person, 50 if you're a little bit bigger, because it could absorb it more. That's it. In a can of soda, there's what? 9 teaspoons of sugar in 1 can of soda. So of course, sugar is a carb. Carbs are energy. When you're not using all that energy, it gets stored right here, becomes fat. You don't get fat by eating fats. I teach you that as well in my challenge and in my coaching. Fats are super awesome, good for you. Avocados and eggs and 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 olive oils and nuts and all these other, great organic meats. Fats are super good because your body, there's a lot of fat that's going on. Your brain has tons of cholesterol that it needs. But carbs are only used for one thing, it's for energy. So if you're not using all of those carbs for energy, and most of us don't, we can't. You'd have to be Michael Phelps when he was burning 10,000 calories a day when he was in the Olympics. 10,000 calories a day. He can eat all the sugar he wants because he's gonna burn it all off. You and I, most likely, we're not. So I'm teaching you how to get off the blood sugar roller coaster. It's a huge inflammation spike. It's like disease feeds on it. I've had, unfortunately, friends that have told me about stories with cancers and different things. And when the sugar is shut down, amazing benefits happen, amazing changes happen. So I have sugar. I still have a coffee with sugar. I do drink a lot of water to offset it. So I'm not telling you in my lifestyle and what I teach 80/20, you don't have to live a sugar-free life, but you need to reduce sugar dramatically more than likely, like everyone else. And so when we talk about diet, we talk about eliminating sugar. So a lot of that is eliminating inflammatory foods as well. So unfortunately, pastas and white rice and breads, it's all nothing. It's all enriched processed foods that basically all turn into sugar. So if you're just having a bunch of that without complementary beans and veggies that slow down what's called the glycemic index, turning into sugar, you're making things very difficult, a lot worse. So in my challenge, we go through an elimination diet. We see what it's like to get rid of some of that stuff and then slowly introduce things. But I'm not going to harp on the diet story, but what I wanted to get across is really reducing that blood sugar. And the number one health hack, I'm already a little bit over time, I'm sorry. The number one health hack, if you guys know me, go ahead and say it there while I write it over here. But you know what I'm going to say. It should be my logo or my slogan. And I've learned to love it because here it is. Dun, 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 dun. Make yourself a priority is often seen as fluff. Like, oh yeah, that sounds great, but I have a life and I have kids and I have a wife and I have a job and so I'm not gonna have, I can't make myself a priority. It would be selfish of me, right? So you either think it's fluff or you think it's selfish when you first see that. And that's what I saw. I was like, what does that even mean? Like, make myself a priority. I have to put all these other people, so much of us are like that. Like, we got to put these people first and then I tend to me. But when you're on an airplane and the stewardess says, or flight attendant says, if the oxygen mask falls, put yours on first and then put it on this other little sucker over here or that one. Why? Because if you don't put yours on first and you pass out, you're not helping anybody. And it's the same thing with your health and wellness, guys. You can try all you want, but until you believe that you deserve it, that you're a priority, you're always gonna fall back to bad habits. So we talk about in the class, we talk about why beneath the why and moving from motivation to inspiration. Because the motivation you have right now when you hear these things is great, but it's not going to last because we live in the world. It has to go to inspiration. And that inspiration comes from making yourself a priority. There's a simple saying, and I'll close with this. You can't pour from an empty cup. Right now, I'm taking time away from somebody else in my life to do this. But I know it's the most important thing I can do because when anybody teaches something, you have to already be well versed in it. You can't teach it if you're not well versed in it. So by me doing this, I'm making myself a priority. I'm reinforcing the beliefs that I have. I'm reinforcing the lifestyle. I'm praying that it's blessing you guys and that you understand that you can't pour from an empty cup. Don't make any more excuses for putting yourself first. If it feels selfish, if it really feels selfish, give it time. Give it time because this is what's going to happen. You're going to be a better person. You're going to be more engaged. you're gonna be more present. You're gonna be more focused. You're gonna be the best person you could be for that person that right now you're putting first, and you have nothing left to give them. So that's all I got. Those are the 7 hacks. Thank you all for being part of the webinar. We're going to be using this webinar as a watch party from time to time, so I'll announce when this watch party will be. Please share it with your family and friends. When we do announce the watch party, I obviously think and know it can help anybody at any age, at any stage, no matter what your challenges are. This is the lifestyle that you should be going after. And if you want more information on it, just visit uplevelliving.com/challenge, and you'll see when the next challenge is going to take place. It's a great way to learn more and see what this health coaching thing is all about. So thank you guys. Have a great night. I appreciate you all, and God bless.